During a critical work meeting, my phone vibrated with a text from my wife. "Try not to worry," she typed. "But I've lost track of your work laptop. My ex borrowed it for a project and now it's missing." I read her message several times, not out of surprise but because it felt strangely predictable. I replied with composure, "It's fine, I'll handle it." That calm response should have signaled to her that something was changing. We'd been married for half a decade, and she often praised my unflappable nature, how nothing seemed to unsettle me. She likely saw my steadiness as a comfort, perhaps even a license to betray my trust. She thought my restraint was a weakness, a mark of passivity. When I received the new laptop from my employer, I had registered it on a secure system accessible only to me. It was company property, protected by encryption, traceable, and insured. I had cautioned her once. If anyone outside the company uses it, it's a serious violation. She dismissed my warning, accusing me of being overly careful. So when she admitted her ex had taken it, two realities crystallized. She had willingly given it to him, and this wasn't their first encounter. I decided against confronting her right away. People reveal more when they believe they're in the clear. That night, she was unusually affectionate, her warmth laced with remorse. Her eyes darted away quickly, her laughter too sharp. "You're not mad, are you?" she asked. I brushed a kiss across her forehead and said, "Not at all." She went to sleep with a relieved smile, unaware that I stayed up, combing through the laptop's network logs. It had been active 2 hours before her text, its location traced to her ex's apartment via the IP address. Then it went offline, completely wiped. Amateurs think deleting data covers their tracks, but the company's security system kept hidden logs, syncing to the cloud every minute. Every file he opened, every message he read, every folder he tried to copy. It all involved confidential client data, amounting to a federal crime. The following morning, I reached out to my employer, reporting a security breach. I submitted screenshots, timestamps, and access records, which they forwarded to the compliance team for formal action. The issue was out of my control, though I retained some influence. I also contacted a reliable friend in law enforcement, someone discreet who owed me a favor. He ensured the case was fast-tracked. Within 48 hours, her ex's name appeared in a file labeled Data Misuse and Unauthorized Access, carrying a $100,000 fine and potential criminal charges. When the police showed up at his door, he probably thought it was a mistake. They confiscated his devices, questioned him, and froze his accounts. I didn't see his confusion firsthand, but I saw its echo in her eyes when she got his desperate text that afternoon. Her face drained of color, her hands trembling. "They went to his place," she whispered. "He says they think he hacked something." I looked up from my coffee, pretending to be puzzled. "That's strange," I said. She studied me, searching for any sign of my involvement, but I gave her nothing. That evening, she fell apart, tears flowing as she offered apologies mixed with half-truths. She claimed she'd only lent the laptop for a small freelance job, insisting it wasn't a big deal, and that she hadn't wanted to upset me. I let her talk, each word tightening the noose of her actions. Then she murmured, "He might go to jail. They're calling it corporate espionage or something. What if he implicates me?" I met her eyes, piercing through her facade. "Then he'd be telling the truth," I said quietly. She froze, realizing I knew everything. Later, from the locked bathroom, she texted, "What did you do?" I considered explaining how I'd reported the breach, ensuring all evidence pointed to her ex, and how I'd noted he was a known contact who accessed company systems through her device. Her name wasn't officially in the report, but I'd left enough breadcrumbs that defending him would raise suspicions. She was now tied to someone under federal investigation. Instead, I texted back, "I handled it." The following weeks were strained. She grew silent, her phone conversations muffled, consumed by doubt. She couldn't discern the full scope of my actions, and that uncertainty became her consequence. One night she asked, "Do you hate me?" I answered truthfully, "No, I just don't trust you anymore." Those words struck harder than any confrontation could. A month later, she left, saying she needed time apart. I didn't protest. Her ex sold his car to pay part of the fine, and his employer fired him to safeguard their reputation. My company commended my swift response to the breach, granting me a promotion. People like her assume revenge is loud, a fight, a scene. It's not. It's precise, calculated, systematic. You don't ruin them with rage. You let the system unravel their lives, one record, one report, one signature at a time. When it's done, you watch their world collapse under the weight of their own choices. That's the difference between vengeance and justice. Vengeance is impulsive emotion. Justice is deliberate, and I've always chosen deliberation.